Now, Julian Burnside QC is a human rights and refugee advocate, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Julian.
G'day.
Now, we're hearing from this whistleblower of rape, assaults on each other, particularly the asylum seekers involved, but also perhaps that they are stockpiling weapons and are prepared to use them to break out. Are these the sorts of problems you've been hearing about Manus Island?
Yeah, I think the much greater problem, though, that Rod St George referred to was the awful conditions in which they're living. And when you think about it, these people haven't committed any offence. They've been carted over there against their will. They're being held in horrible conditions, being told they'll never leave. That's likely to make people arc up a bit, isn't it?
We have got a grab of this whistleblower speaking last night, and he's talking about the fact that when some of the asylum seekers do either threaten to commit self-harm or threaten to harm someone else, that the staff there and the situation and the accommodation is just not up to scratch.
Everyone was way in over their head. We did not have the facilities or the expertise to prevent what was happening. We might separate people in those circumstances on the mainland, but there aren't any facilities at Manus to do that.
Julian, this fellow has since resigned, but is that the situation as it stands now on Manus Island, and is that what the asylum seekers we send there in the future are going to face?
That is my understanding, and it's very clear from the report on Dateline that conditions on Manus are terrible and haven't improved. And there's simply none of the sort of safeguards that you would expect when you're locking up innocent people and driving them crazy. I think it's just shocking that Australia is spending these vast amounts of money to mistreat people so awfully. I mean, it's not like they're criminals. In fact, we certainly would not treat criminals that way. We're treating these people far worse than we treat criminals who've gone through the justice system.
I can understand perhaps if they're threatening self-harm and we need to take that seriously. But if there are threats by the asylum seekers that they are going to break out, they're stockpiling weapons, and apparently they're quite open about saying someone will get killed, I don't think we can just say that's because they're being kept in situations that are so dire. I mean, that's not acceptable either.
We can say that, and the reason we can say that is that from about 2001 to 2005 or 6, when locking people up in onshore immigration detention centres was the big thing the government was keen on, we got report after report from psychiatrists that if you treat people this way, they will either they'll fall into despair, and then they either attack themselves or they lash out to the surroundings. You know, that's just what human beings do when you lock them up for long enough, when they have not committed any offence and have never been charged or tried for anything. Now, we know exactly how people react in those circumstances, and what we've done is to throw them at Manus Island and said, well, that's what's going to happen to you there. This is all utterly predictable, and it's predictable because we know we're mistreating innocent human beings.